Oh, lordy, lordy, lordy. Thank you so much for joining me tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It is I, Ben, aka the Fuseboxx, coming to you with another Fuseboxx Engaged. It has been one hell of a night. It has been nothing but trouble. I know. God in heaven help me. I was recording the next Metal Gear Solid playthrough video and I had to retry a level like 3 effing times. And then like while I was in the middle of my 4 times. And then while I was in the middle of the 3rd time, I ended up like my whole PlayStation froze. I had to stop, go, restart the PlayStation. Once I restart the PlayStation, I pick up from a checkpoint, and I had already been way further into the level, so I had to restart it from there. Then I managed to finish the level. I got an awesome ranking on the level, and I thought we were doing so well, and then when I look over at my OBS recording screen, I noticed I had forgotten to switch the background back, so it was recording a black screen the whole effing time. And so I just said, fuck it, and I went ahead and like, I'm gonna freaking re-record that part. The first part of the video is fine, and I'm gonna post that part tomorrow. But I gotta re-record that effing mission, and it was hell. And then after that, I had to race and try to promote the stream and everything. I'm learning what it means to be a full-on YouTuber. And I'm starting to get annoyed. You're a numpty nuts. I do not like Final Fantasy XII that much. I'm in the minority on that, I recognize. When it comes to Final Fantasy XII, I feel like it's the Final Fantasy version of Star Wars, the original Star Wars. You're a kid in a desert planet. You dream about getting off of the desert, not on a desert planet, but in a desert town. You dream about getting off of the desert town and becoming a sky pirate or a Jedi. You get picked up by a gallant rogue and his animalistic sidekick, who sweeps you up to go on big adventures. You find an old knight, and there's a big old twist regarding, you know, oh, you killed my brother. No. My brother killed your brother. And yeah. So there's so many parallels to Star Wars in that game. Not to mention the fact that you're literally fighting an evil empire. I don't know what Tug is doing different than me, other than having a really cool animated avatar and covering Amber Heard and all that fun shit. Yes, it is. Of that we can both agree. FF13 is it's a soap opera. It's The Young and the Restless, the video game. I don't think I got that far to figure out if Rex was still alive. But Rex should not be alive, in my opinion. Oh, Lordy Almighty. So let me see if I can function on a stream tonight. Because Jesus God help me. Where am I looking at here? Where's my thingy? That is not what I was looking for. I had a tab open and it's gone. It's gone. It got sequels because nowadays the big secret to success is to piss people off. And if you piss people off, you're gonna get sequels because the people who make things now don't like it when people get pissed off. And instead of like looking inside themselves and being like, well, maybe I did something that wasn't right or whatever, or even if they just were like, well, we like what we did, but I can understand why people wouldn't like that. See, instead of that, now the best thing to do is double down and triple down and tell people to fuck off. And that means you're a good person. Where is... Here we go. Okay. See where the effing tab was. That's odd. That was the big drama, though, with the knight guy. So I guess the drama's gone. Alright. So this is the big news. Final Fantasy VII, the first soldier, is getting shut down. That is... I mean, I think most people probably haven't even heard of it, but I have. I played it when it first came out, and I enjoyed it. It's not the most amazing game on Earth, but it wasn't bad. I really liked the mechanics of how the soldier members could use both swords and guns. And there was magic in it too. I mean, that's obvious when you're playing a soldier from Final Fantasy VII, but it was good shit. You should. That dragon needs to be upgraded. But yeah. So, yeah, this game was very much Call of Duty in a Final Fantasy style. It was pretty much, you go into a map, you're all soldier trainees, you run around, collect items and weapons and materia, and as you come across each other, you try to murder the hell out of each other. And it was fun. I mean, it was a little too repetitive, in my opinion. They needed more shit to add on. But it was definitely... It could have been something really, really bigger, like if they had just added more to it. But yeah, apparently Square just kind of gave up here. Well, on January 11th, 2023, Final Fantasy VII, the first soldier will end its service. Shinra credits will not be available to purchase as of the announcement. However, players can still spend the Shinra credits they already have until it's shut down. Unfortunately, for those who don't speak English, on November 1st, 2022, at 2 o'clock, the game will cease its multiple language support and will only be displayed in English until the game's finishing. That's kind of strange for a Japanese game. See, this stuff was cool. I feel like if they had just kind of changed up the strategy a little bit, it would have been fine. I don't get it. Despite all our efforts to bring you regular updates with fresh, exciting content, we haven't been able to deliver the experience we were hoping for. God, that just seems kind of drastic to me for this at this stage in the game. mean, shit, Bethesda didn't give up when they released Fallout 76, and that was horrible. The team doesn't feel the game is being received well. Lord. That is strange. That is very bizarre. God. How effing depressing. Lord have mercy on us all. Bethesda. I mean, not Bethesda. Square. Don't just throw in the towel. I actually liked the concept of that game. You just needed to add more to it. You just needed more levels. You needed different challenges. You needed a story that would actually advance. I don't get it. I don't get it. It had potential. But yeah, I am pretty amazed by this. I've been looking through the Steam store, and I've been looking basically for more modern games to play for my channel. It hasn't been easy for me, as I hate 90% of everything I've seen. The last game that came out that blew my mind was Red Dead Redemption 2, and that was back in 2019. Like, but a buddy of mine called me up after I had sent him one of my Metal Gear Solid videos, and he was just like, Ben, no, you don't show people a game that's over 5 years old. I was like, but it's good. He's like, no, you gotta play something more modern. And he recommended some JRPG. I haven't trusted any JRPGs since the golden age of Final Fantasy. Well, scratch that. I did like Final Fantasy 15, although it felt super incomplete. But I decided to go ahead and give it a shot. I've been looking on the Steam store. I found a game that might be interesting, but I don't know. But I found a game that's going to be coming out that I remember this same buddy telling me about a few years back. And it's being produced by Bethesda. Yeah. I actually did an edited video where I talked about how I felt like 15. It had a lot of elements to it that were really good, but it was the story was very bare bones. Yeah. Excuse me. You jumped from point A to point B with like no stops in between. And like from everything that we had heard and read about it, it was like that game had been in such development hell for so long. I think they restarted making it like 3 times. And like back when it was Versus 13, the trailers and everything we were getting and the story tidbits were actually a lot better than what we ended up getting. Oh, God. So, I wanted to take a look at a project that Bethesda is going to be cranking out. Not this. I don't know what the fuck this is. What am I looking at? Is he going to be naughty? Is he going to touch that? Starfield. This game looks freaking awesome. For the first time in forever, not from Frozen, Bethesda is making a new RPG that isn't Fallout and isn't Elder Scrolls. It's going to be launching in 2023. Starfield launches 2023. Release date draws near. Appearance at lack of news. Starfield's map. Altair, Bernard, and Sirius. I guess this must be like, are these real stars in our solar system? Why wouldn't they just make fake ones? 1,000 planets. That's a tall order. Last time we had something like this was No Man's Sky, and we all know how that turned out. Empath. Your traits, you can be an empath, you can have alien DNA. That's pretty interesting. I do like the ship flight aspect. I hope they can deliver. Yeah. Hire character. That's what I like. I like building your own outposts and hiring characters. So they're taking the concept from Fallout 4 and hopefully, I believe they're expanding it. Oh, wow. No voice. That's okay. And a giant space serpent god. I'm gonna click on this. Let me... This is interesting. Serpent worship, space parents, and other details hidden in the Starfield trailer. Careful examination of the trailer reveals ship-to-ship docking, space religions, and a possible visit to Earth. I hope they don't go start venturing into the realm of Outlaw Nights. I feel like a lot of these games that I'm seeing for space, they're taking ideas that I had, and I don't like that. I swear to God, they better not start ripping off. Starfield's first gameplay trailer was revealed over the weekend, and it's given a rise to a mix of excitement, disappointment, and speculation. A lot of smaller details in the trailer. Huh. You can dock with other ships. Build your for Abiba. It shows you can dock with other ships. Okay, that's pretty cool. New to board to explore. Possibly add them to your customizable collection. Best of all. Oh God, there's gonna be space pirates in this, aren't there? I don't know how I feel about this. I don't know how I feel about this. I don't like this. I mean, it sounds fucking awesome, but Again, it was awesome when I came up with it. Well, the ships are a lot uglier, though, than in Outlaw Nights, so there's that. Let's see. Mars. I mean, I guess that's cool. I feel like our planets are kind of boring. Yeah, I feel like if we landed on Earth, that'd be pretty cool. Space parents. Optional traits in the character creation menu. There are 2. Starter home, which states you can own a small house on a peaceful little moon, but it comes with a 50,000 credit mortgage. Wow. I actually like that. It sounds horrible, but I love it. It seems like the most... Your parents are alive and well, blah, blah, blah. Wow. So if you have parents in this game, apparently part of your money goes to them. Adam and Eve. If y'all want that. Yeah, I wouldn't think this would be seamless. Anyway. Yeah. Let me see. Digipicks, lockpicks. Bethesda really loves lockpicking. It's a little much. I really like the space religion idea. The church store. The enlightened store. Another religion or a group of space atheists. Choosing one religion seems to put you in opposition to the others. The serpent's embrace trait. If you grew up worshipping the great serpent, then making grav jumps in your ship, Starfield's version of hyperspace jumps, or FTL travel, will give you a boost to health and endurance. What does a serpent god have to do with hyperdrive? We don't know, but we can't wait to find out. Okay, yeah. Cheesy attempt at humor. Change your appearance. Well, I don't give a fuck about that. I do my appearance in the beginning and I don't look back. Damn it. Let's see. Character creation menu shows a Argada, blah. Mining company. Bandit faction. Okay. Well, I mean, can you join the bandit faction? I mean, that would make sense for a Bethesda game. You get to join the evil side or the good side. I don't give a fuck about you, Christopher. He made his cheesy serpent god joke, and I don't appreciate it. Let's see what else we got. A carryover character from Elder Scrolls Oblivion. That's bizarre. Cycle, so too returning mechanics, themes, and even NPCs. One of the most annoying, iconic characters from Oblivion is coming back from the past to haunt the futuristic world of Starfield, the adoring fan. See, I didn't even play Oblivion, so I have no fucking clue what they're talking about. Too much reading. Let's get a look at a trailer, shall we? All right. Let's see. Let's see what we got. See what we can do. Sorry, y'all. I wish I had a co-host today, so I could bounce shit off. But have we measured all of it?
Control, this is Constellation Starship Frontier. We're ready to start on your signal. Maintaining exit vector course. Steady till ready. Coordinates input. Plotting jump course. Guidance has converged. We're looking good. Allocating auxiliary reactor power. System checks are green across the board. Grav jump commencing in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's hard to express how excited all of us at Bethesda are to be here with you today. We're so grateful you're spending the time, and we know you've waited a long time to finally see Starfield.
I don't trust
It's easily
this guy.
our most ambitious game ever.
I recall this was the dude that introduced Fallout 76. I believe he's probably like a higher up over there, and I don't trust him. After the fiasco that happened with all the promises of Fallout 76, because everything about this game sounds fucking awesome, but I'm nervous. I'm worried they're gonna cut a bunch of these features that they're talking about.
Our previous games, it's an epic role-playing game where you get to be who you want and go where you want. But this time, you'll be exploring space. So let's jump right in. This is early in the game as you arrive on the mysterious moon of Crete.
Crete. Like the Greek city-state? No, not like the Greek city-state. Just made up bullshit.
According to the scanners, the abandoned research facility is in this direction.
I really hope they let you do third person. Why can't you examine those things? Okay, third person. I find that interesting. That these little crab doodads that remind me a lot of Mirelurks from Fallout didn't attack him right off the bat. Interesting, you know? Not like amazing, but you know, just something to ponder, something to figure out.
It would appear that pirates of the Crimson Fleet are using the facility.
Nice. At least he's not the pirate. Because I'm not sharing pirates. I have the say over space pirates.
We're trying to jump our squall. Hold them off here while Brogan sets up on the roof. No one's getting through. Hey, there you are! We've got company! Opening fire! Take that guy down, huh?
Guns are kind of ugly.
Pull back!
Nice fire rate and everything. Still, like, I don't like the boxy look. I don't like it. It's not aesthetically pleasing to me. That's a weird lockpick system.
You're gonna pay for that!
What kind of pirates? Space. We need badass pirates. I like that. That was cool.
After some initial encounters, you're invited to join Constellation.
I don't you. Every damn time. It's like every time I stream, the internet fucks up on me. I've been looking into getting an Ethernet set up because I can't do this forever.
Who, in the future the game is set in, are the last group of space explorers. To meet them, you'll head to the capital city of New Atlantis.
Welcome to Constellation. We have a lot to talk about. We're all here because we're committed to the biggest question of all.
Why are they taking 2 years to produce season 2 of Rings of Power? That's the biggest question. So, I approve of the hot lady. I think that she's wonderful. I don't like her voice though. It strikes me as very snooty.
What's out there? These artifacts could be everything we've been looking for. As to what they are, what they're building, you'll be part of solving that puzzle now.
So, you found something?
A new guy found it.
You dug up the artifact, right? That means you saw it. The visions?
The artifact you found appears to be one of many, scattered across the galaxy. If we can find more, we can unlock their secrets.
One of those locations looked so much like Megaton from Fallout 3. Hold on, let me see if I can back it up a little bit. I like that. Well, that's not it, but I really like that. That makes me think of Fallout a lot. And I love this. This is like this feels like a slum in like a Star Wars. I love it. Come on, where is it? Not that. We're on this place. This is so Megaton. And it also reminds me a little bit of Diamond City from Fallout 4. Like just the overall, like the junk everywhere. Yeah. The atmosphere looks very junky. Got like the little city square looking thing going on. It's very reminiscent.
We can unlock their secrets.
Beautiful, isn't it? The man who sold me this told me that it spoke to him.
Of course, the settled systems is full of groups with other priorities.
That's the Crimson Fleet!
Everybody get ready!
The fleet doesn't follow the rules. Agree to work for UCC, Steph. And together, we take down these cutthroat pirates.
We're not just here to shoot the bad guys. We're peacekeepers who protect the people of the Freestar Collective.
When you sign up with the Crimson Fleet, no one quits. The only way out is death.
The path ahead may be dangerous.
So it looks like you can sign up with like the bandits. You can sign up with the Crimson Fleet. Or, I mean, they might be pulling some kind of thing where you're infiltrating them. Either one of those options is good. I think one of the biggest complaints about Fallout 4 was the fact that you really didn't have many options to be the evil guy. You really you were stuck on kind of one main pathway. Like you could align with one of 3 factions, well, actually 2 of 3 factions, but the factions themselves weren't what you would call super evil. You can make an argument that the Institute was pretty evil, but I mean, for the most part, they all kind of had their own vision of like what was best for the wasteland. And then they added on that DLC, Nuka World, and that was where you got to basically be a raider boss, and that was your evil option. You could undermine the Capital Wasteland once you beat a lot of those side quests, but I never did that shit. I was always the good guy. I have an overactive conscience when it comes to video game alignment. I like to be the hero most of the time.
Dangerous. But we are not stopping.
Most Dusties don't even make it.
I want want to see those aliens again. Shit. Ooh. Sin. Sin. Nope, you stop that. This shit. That's creepy.
But we are not stopping.
Most Dusties don't even make it this far.
Because whatever lies at the end of this road will change humanity forever.
That gives you a look at the stories in Starfield. But ultimately, it's not our story. It's the story you create by who you are and the choices you make.
Do not bullshit me, sir. We all know what happened with Fallout 76. I don't trust you or your leather jacket.
And that starts with character creation. It's our most flexible yet. You can customize all the elements of how you look. You'll pick a background that gives you 3 starting skills.
It says here you spent some time as a diplomat. Having a way with words might prove useful.
There are optional traits, and these come with unique advantages and disadvantages. But it's not just in how you can look, but in how your character plays and develops.
I want to be the cowboy.
And disadvantages. But it's not just in how you can look.
I want to be him. That is how you should look in a game like this. Damn it. And that was my big problem when I played Fallout 3 and New Vegas. I always wanted to have the cowboy duster. I was into that shit way too much.
Look, in how your character plays and develops. The skill system combines the best from our previous games, and you can unlock new skills as you level up, and then you rank those skills up by using them and completing challenges.
Nice.
And there's deep crafting systems, from running research projects with resources you find, to crafting weapon mods needed to survive. And you can build your own outposts. These act as a home away from home for survival and resource generation. You can choose where and how to build each one, and you can hire characters you meet to keep it up and running. But that's not all. You can even build your own spaceships.
I really like that. I hope to God that they're not gonna fuck us on that one.
You can choose crew members. And yes, you can completely customize the look and layout. There's loads of different modules, ship manufacturers, and more. I have to say, it's so cool. We just absolutely love this. It's not just how the ship looks, it's how it performs, from engines to shields to weapon systems, because yes, you can fly it.
I would hope I would get to build it. I would hope we would get to fly it. That seems like a no-brainer. The ship designs, I mean, I guess they're cool from like a utilitarian point of view. Like, they kind of remind me a bit of Star Wars, but I don't know. I'd like something sleeker. I'd like something that's kind of more round. Something, oh, I don't know, kind of like Hazard from a certain comic that I know called Outlaw Knights. It's a really good looking ship.
We can't wait for all of you to experience the game. Thanks again for being with us today, and thanks for all the support you've given us over the decades, especially on this game. It's been an incredible journey for us making it, but we know that's really only the beginning, for it's when all of you play it that the real journey begins. And you may be wondering,
I think you only care about the pre-order sales. I think you only care about cleaning up and making back some of that money that you lost on Fallout 76. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am.
how big is this game? So we thought we'd take one last moment and show you. Let's take a look at one of our planets, Jemison. You can land into Atlantis, but you can also land and explore anywhere on the planet. And it's not just this planet, it's all the planets in the system.
See, this is the part that it sounds fantastic, but it sounds very extensive and time-consuming, and they promised this stuff with No Man's Sky, and you didn't really get that much of the variety. And I mean, you got a lot of planets, but a lot of them were just interchangeable with each other, and you really didn't have that much to do. Because again, like with all the time you're gonna put into developing something like this, I feel like something's gonna be sacrificed. I mean, I might be wrong. They might pull out some kind of a miracle game with this, but I don't know if I trust it. I'm a skeptical old man.
From barren but resource-heavy ice balls to Goldilocks planets with life. And not just this system, but over 100 systems. Over 1,000 planets, all open for you to explore. We can't wait to see what you find.
But you know what you find. Fucking fantastic. It sounds fantastic. But will it be fantastic? That's hard to say, and that's kind of peculiar that they're not releasing it on PlayStation. Because I know like they're fine releasing it with on PlayStation for like Fallout. So God help us. Let's see. Let me see if I could play one more type of a trailer. If I can find one on this game, I'll see if it's possible. Whoa, 48 minutes, Jesus God. I can't go through a 48-minute one. Three days ago.
After literal months of waiting, the day has finally come. Bethesda has broken their silence on Starfield. They just posted a new behind-the-scenes video where we get a new snippet of gameplay on Starfield. And like, yeah, even just that alone, some new actual gameplay of this game. A bunch of new details from Todd Howard. But what I think is perhaps most important of all, this is the beginning of something new, which we're going to talk more about as we get later in this video. So what just came out is a new series from Bethesda with Constellation Questions. This being a continuation of their behind-the-scenes video series for Starfield. And in this one, Bethesda will be answering questions on Starfield as asked by the community. I don't know, it does seem like in future episodes you may be hearing from a variety of developers. In this first episode, only Todd Howard is answering questions, which is definitely not a bad thing. And the first question is going to be, what kind of games inspired Starfield?
I'm gonna go back like in time here. Sundog is a big one. Amazing game, kind of like the science fiction game when Ultimas were out. It also had this parserless interface, kind of one of the first games where you're moving objects around and putting them together, but great game where you had your own ship and you could explore around. This game, Traveler. Traveler was a little more hard science fiction. The other thing there, it's one of the first games I programmed on the Apple II at the time. I really wanted to make a Traveler game. But those are the big ones, harkening back to those old role-playing games that we loved, and hey, can we pull off something like this with today's computers and consoles, etc.
So I think those two answers he gives here are actually very telling. Sundog Frozen Legacy was really a game with a lot of player autonomy. It allowed you to fly around with your own ship and even edit it somewhat and go and trade with colonies as you want.
I didn't realize this was another YouTuber shit. I don't know why it fucking just hit me in the head. I thought this was like Bethesda themselves doing this. Damn it. I don't wanna steal from this poor guy. Be sure to sign up, or be sure to subscribe to Juicehead. And don't ever show me something like that again, YouTube. You son of a bitch. Bethesda Softworks. Okay, here we go. Here's the actual.
Hi, I'm Jess Finster, Community Director, and I'm here visiting Bethesda Game Studios, where the team is hard at work on Starfield. I just want to say how grateful we all are for all of the feedback, support, and questions that you've been sharing with us on Reddit, Discord, Twitter. So we wanted to take a moment to answer some of those questions in our new series. So let's get started.
Well, let's do that.
First thing that we want to know is what inspired Starfield?
Oh, you know, so many things. I think the main ones that, I'm going to go back like in time here. Sundog is a big one. Amazing game, kind of like the science fiction game when Ultimas were out. It also had this parserless interface, kind of one of the first games where you're moving objects around and putting them together, but great game where you had your own ship and you could explore around, that I loved. Another one, this is a kind of pen and paper role-playing game at the time where, D&D was getting popular, is this game Traveler. Traveler was a little more hard science fiction. The other thing there, it's one of the first games I programmed on the Apple II at the time. I really wanted to make a Traveler game. It was also my first time realizing that computers had memory that you could run out of. I can already see the comments, people saying, you've been running computers out of memory for 40 years now, but that's an easy comment, everybody. You can do better.
We can do better.
But those are the
Oh, we can do better. You've been building all of your role-playing games on the exact same engine for decades. Like, you didn't even think to build a new one. I mean, most of these games have the exact same damn bugs.
The big ones, harkening back to those old role-playing games that we loved, and hey, can we pull off something like this with today's computers and consoles, and et cetera?
You mentioned hard space or hard sci-fi, and I know that that's one of the things that's been hotly debated in the community. Is Starfield considered a hard sci-fi?
I never quite know, like, because that's always like, what do they think it is if you say yes or no? I think it is more hard to us, hard science fiction, where you can draw that line from, okay, here's how man explored space, and you can like even look at our ships and say, all right, that has some, visual identity back to that. But it's a trap question because it's a video game, right? Like a hard science fiction video game would be you die in space cold. And a good example, we were really into fuel and how the gravity drive works. And like, I'm reading papers on like quantum physics and, bending space in front of you. You don't actually warp, you bend the space, you bring the space towards you. And so we were playing that and it became like very punitive to the player. Your ship would run out of fuel and the game would just stop. You just want to get back to what you're doing. So we've recently changed it where the fuel in your ship and the grav drive limits how far you could go at once, but it doesn't run out of fuel. Maybe there'll be an update or a mod that allows that, but that's what we're doing now.
That feels too easy to me. I don't know. I'd like it if you could run out of fuel in space and you had to like call for a tow. Or you had to like get some kind of emergency. Yeah, you had to like put out a distress call or something. I know that sounds shitty, but it's like I like challenge. I like the idea of like you've got a limited supply of fuel. You gotta actually plan your trip. You gotta keep an eye on it. Make sure you refuel at the service stations. Just that stuff is good. I don't like getting rid of that.
Constellation members are excited about the character customization and the traits in the game. Can you talk more about what players will experience with the traits?
I love our trait list. It's super fun. But each one obviously comes with some sort of negative as well. And we have a way in the game, kind of an activity or quest you can do to remove that trait, as opposed to, don't like my character, I want to start over. Each of them are something like that you can solve that removes the entire trait for the rest of your playthrough.
The last question, we have speech checks and dialogue that reflect your character build. Do you want to expand upon that at all?
Yeah, look, we've done a lot of different dialogue systems. We've gone back to kind of I'll call it like a classic Bethesda style dialogue with you're looking at the character and how they emote. You have a series of choices there. The scope of the game, the amount of content we're making is a bit more than we've done before in terms of quests and things like that. But the depth in some of the stuff with the dialogue, we just passed 250,000 lines. And so that's a lot of dialogue, but we've gone through it and the impact is really there. And that includes my favorite.
That is interesting. That is the kind of thing I was always kind of hoping for from a Bethesda game. I always thought that I always loved the amount of choices you had in things like Skyrim. But the problem was always like it's always felt limited to an extent. It always felt like you could always kind of hit your limit, and it kind of makes it to where replayability is you can only go so far with that. So that's an interesting add-on.
Speech persuasion system.
You're not talking us out of this score.
It feels like it's part of the dialogue, but you're spending points to persuade them.
You willing to give up the ship? Just like that?
It feels natural, not like I've entered some other mode where I'm not doing regular dialogue. It's just I'm in this mode of persuading you to get what I want.
Having a way with words might prove useful.
That's it. That's all the questions that I had for today.
Yeah, this has been great. Everybody out there, keep it coming. We do really read it all. And also we look forward to showing you more of the game in the future as well.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. That's all we have for today. But don't forget, you can submit your questions at the hashtag below. See you later.
My question is, are you single? to go out with her. I would love to show her a good time in a very gentlemanly fashion. But yeah, I'm cautiously optimistic about Starfield. I think Starfield is gonna be interesting, to say the least. And I mean, there's not a hell of a lot I'm excited about these days, video game wise, and I'll take what I can get. And so far, like, they're making it sound like it's gonna be freaking fantastic. It's gonna be like the biggest Bethesda experience. But again, like, they promised that with things like Fallout 76, and we all knew how that turned out. But they have been working on this game for quite a while, and I'm assuming they're not half-assing it. Maybe it's not smart of me to assume, but I'm assuming that they're not half-assing it. So hell, it might blow my friggin' mind. I'm definitely gonna look into buying it. I just need to get some damn monies together. Now, before we close on out here, as my body is getting weary from the hectic trials I have put myself through for my channel, I want to take a look at something real quick. This is the longest I have talked by myself on this channel. I think doing these Metal Gear things it's really helping me. Let's see here. So, Outlaw Nights, Genesis of a Renegade Part 2. We are up to 125 addresses collected for the email list. I am very excited about this. And we are entering the final countdown here. We have got about 14 days until launch. 2 weeks. I just thought of that. I've been saying 3 weeks. It is now 2 weeks. Good God, that makes me nervous. But yeah, if you haven't already, click on the link in the description of this video. Get on the Outlaw Nights email list, because you are going to have access to exclusive perks that you're not going to be able to get on the main campaign, including a 2 for the price of 1 deal, which is going to be very limited. So the sooner you sign up, the sooner you click on that email when it comes to you, the better it's going to be for your chances. And yeah, that's all I got for you today. As always, I am Ben, aka the Fuseboxx, your humble and wonderfully handsome and charismatic host. You can find me on Twitter at Knights Outlaw, that with an N, not a K. You can also find me on Instagram at Outlaw Nights. You can find me on Facebook under my real name, Ben Fuselier, F-U-S-E-L-I-E-R. And yeah, if you like anything I had to say or anything I had to show you, go ahead and hit the like button. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Be sure to hit the bell for notifications. If you didn't like what I had to tell you today, hit the dislike button. The engagement goes well for me any way you look at it, and I really can't see the dislikes, so YouTube is really looking out for me. They care. They're wonderful people over there at that YouTube, at that YouTube office for the youngins. Thank you so much for joining me today, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, and I will also, in addition to producing my Metal Gear videos, I will be streaming again on Thursday night at 10 p.m. Central, and we are also here every Saturday night at midnight Central. So yeah, thank you so much for joining me again, ladies and gentlemen, and I will talk to you all later.